Hi. If you didn't watch yesterday's video, hi, I'm Alex. I'm Alex O'Neill. I'm founder of IrrationalPassions.com. And I just got back to my hotel from Podcast Beyond 300 at IGN. So if you don't know what Podcast Beyond is, um, then you probably shouldn't watch this because there's going to be a lot of inside baseball. And also, yes, I know my face is extremely red and very burnt. So are my arms. Yeah, it's bad. Fucking hurts so much. I was sitting in line outside the IGN office for like 2 hours. So it's just burning. Oh, look at that. Look at that turn white. Oh, that's bad news. Bad news bears right there. So yeah, I just probably had the best day of my life. I don't say that lightly. Uh, IGN, for those who don't know, IGN is a dream job for me. And I got to go there, spend a lot of time there, and meet almost the entire editorial staff. Sorry, I just ate a couple French fries, so trying to get that done. It was incredible. Podcast Beyond 300. If you haven't watched it, there was a live stream, so I hope you watch it. I was on it, so I won some stuff. One thing. I won one thing. Yeah, fuck, man. So I caught the second train out of where I am at like 1 o'clock, or noon, pretty much. Got there, got in line, met a couple awesome people, Justin and Brian. They're totally two totally cool dudes, and they were just hanging out in the line with me, and we talked for a while. It was cool. We had a good conversation. I saw them a lot throughout the entire night, so that was fun. Um, let's see. So where should I start? I, I already recorded one of these, and it did not record well. So just take two. Hopefully, I won't forget any of the names because I forgot so many. So we're waiting outside. Then there was a shooting down the street on 7th Street. So they put us in the lobby, and they're like, "Oh, guys, the shooter was caught. All right, everybody outside again." That was funny. Not funny. No one got shot though, so we're all good. I made a joke saying that Mitchell Morgan, obviously the most reliable of Podcast Beyond listeners, Mitchell Morgan, app developer extraordinaire. I saw his dad. His dad looks like he's built like a tank. I sent out a tweet saying I think Mitchell Morgan's dad took down the 7th Street shooter because he built like a tank. And I started that on Twitter. Got a few retweets on that. Hashtag Beyond Rumors. That was funny. So we get in. So you get in the elevator, right? And I was pretty early in line. I was like number 30 or 40 or so. So I get in the IGN break room before most of everyone. And it is literally just me just gushing IGN overload. It was insane because I've been reading IGN since about 2004. I saw Cass Massima and Bozon and Fran, who's now video editor. I saw them, grow and then go, and you know, it was surreal. Just you walk into the break room, it's just like, oh fuck, there's Sam Claiborne, who's on the Nintendo voice chat pod or video chat podcast, excuse me. There's Scott Lowe, IGN tech editor. And there's Colin, there's Greg, there's Mitch, there's Ryan McCaffrey, there's and then there's like the celebrity there, like there's fucking Dave Fennoy, voice of Lee in The Walking Dead, and talking to Troy Baker. I'm like, that is too much good voice acting in one space, and they're hanging out having a coffee. I got a picture with Dave Fennoy. That guy's really nice. He's a sweetie. I tell you what, he has a deep voice, but he's a sweetheart. Um, yeah, it was fucking insane. It was just I saw all the IGN editors, like pretty much the entire editorial staff, in one place, and it was and being in that office, being in that environment, it was so real to me at that moment that this is what I want to do. This is actually what I love because you think and you work at it and you always have those doubts. Everybody does. You want to be an artist and you have that moment where you've painted so many times and all of these galleries have turned you down. Well, this is me being like, well, I've been writing for 3 years and I haven't started freelancing. I haven't broken into the next step. But the moment I walked in there, it was the moment where I was like, I would do anything to be a part of this family, to be a part of this team, and it was great. I talked to Steve Butts, editor in chief of IGN, uh, and yeah, he was like, I said, I don't know, this might not be the best time to like. I'm not trying to sell you me. He's like, no, I want you to sell yourself to me. I want you to tell me why I should hire you, and you should always be talking to someone that you want to be hired from, like you want a job, and like they should appreciate you. And at the end of the conversation, he was like, yeah, I'm impressed with how confident you are, and you know your shit, and that's a big deal in this industry. And he's like, you wait here a second. And he came back with one of these hot business cards. Editor in chief of IGN gave me one of these. Told me he was impressed. And after talking to a whole bunch of other people, they're like, fucking Steve Butts is the man. He knows what's up. He'll tell you if he doesn't like you, if he thinks you need work. And I'm like, shit. So before the podcast started, I'm walking around this break room. I'm like trying to shove pizza in my mouth as fast as possible because I want to be done with eating and start talking to people. Bump into the man with the plan, Danny Wiesner, who's a good friend. And he's been on Irrational Passions podcast. If you don't listen to that podcast, you probably should. I host it. It's fun. Danny Wiesner's awesome. That guy's so nice. As soon as he sees me, he's like, oh my goodness, it's Alex. Gives me a hug. Then we take a picture together. Yeah, he's great. I got to take another picture with him, so I posted it on Twitter if you want to see that. He's his song "Go Beyond," which he played toward the end of the episode 300, fucking incredible. Props to him and props to Pain and Musk. To them, they are an unstoppable duo. I tell you what. Yeah, that was awesome. Danny's awesome. Seriously, he's totally awesome. So, and I talked to Scott Lowe and Brian Miggles, B Migs, before the show started. Scott Lowe and me spat the shit about iOS 7 and some stuff. He showed me the Android phone he's currently using. That was cool. He's working on the latest Android operating system. So, talked a bit about that tech stuff. Not video games. That was fun. Yeah, it was like as soon as I got in, I was just, fuck, I need a bottle of water. I'm so dehydrated. The sun has dried me out, clearly. Look at this. Look at how red this is. I look so red in all the pictures. It's gross. So, podcast happened. That was great. I won this hot... Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. This hot Last of Us concept art book. And that's not even the best part. Fucking look at that. Signed. These are all the lead concept artists. This is the what was it? Like the guy in charge of all the art, and then this was David Ballard. That's what it is. Who I got to talk to about Last of Us. He did the multiplayer map design, environment design, and yeah, he's really cool. He's really nice. And I told him, I reviewed the game. I gave it a 10. I loved it, and I do not regret it. It may be along the lines of some of the other reviews out there, but guess what? It's that fucking good. You should play that game. Yeah, so he gave that to me. So I won that pretty early. You can see me get that. Greg Miller just shouting Irrational Passions at me like he does. So yeah, it was great, and yeah, meeting like the Last of Us guy was totally surreal too. Cause I just reviewed that game and I love it so much. I'm like, hey, go back to the team at Naughty Dog and tell them they did a great fucking job. And he's like, thank you, for pointing out that I'm not the one guy that made that game. I work with a team. There's a lot of us. And I'm like, of course, you guys put together something real special. So that was nice. So fucking Shuhei Yoshida shows up. I accidentally blocked the camera when that happened, but it was confusing. The camera guy was like, "Oh, there's a bunch of people walking in front of the camera. I'm sorry about that. I was reprimanded by Greg Miller. Don't worry." And yeah, Shuhei just fucking showing up. Whatever, dude. Holy shit. And that PS4 there. I touched the DualShock 4. It's really good. Check out the next episode of the podcast. I'm going to talk about it on there. So yeah, then the podcast was over, and I went around and I talked to a whole bunch more people. I talked to Goldfarb a lot, who he didn't even know who I was. He just kept referring to me as Irrational Passions, and then at some point he's like, "I don't actually know your name." I'm like, "It's Alex." And he's like, "All right, got it." So he actually referred to me as Alex for the rest of the night. So I appreciate that. Um, and Greg Miller, of course, and Colin. I talked to them. And Clements, Powerhouse, formerly known as Ryan Clements. Got a picture with Shuhei. Told him, you know what? You're doing it good. You're doing right. Keep on doing that. Talked to McCaffrey, Ryan McCaffrey, executive Xbox editor. I talked to Brian Altano, who watched the vlog that I did yesterday, which was crazy. He's like, yeah, I watched all 10 and a half minutes of it. I'm like, why? Which was funny. He was worried I would start quoting him and from some of the stuff he said to me today in the video. I won't do it, but he was really nice. He was really awesome. Um, and I got an awesome picture with him. We hugged it out. The guy's pretty dope. I'll say that. Um, let's see. I met a lot of people, so forgive me if I don't remember all of them. Talked to Caleb from Visceral Games. He was awesome. He did some of the environment design, and yeah, he was really cool. He was really chill. I talked to him with Danny Wiesner. Danny Wiesner also gonna bring up again. That guy is awesome. Maybe I didn't bring up, but yeah, no, I did. Danny's Danny's a good friend, and I'm glad like he was excited. He was as excited to see me as I was to see him because we had talked so much before, and it was great. It was great. I talked to Mitch Dyer. I talked to Marty Silva, Steve Butts. I mentioned earlier. Um, like all of the IGN editorial staff, pretty much. Sean and Eric, the two community managers at IGN, they are awesome. Eric came up to me at the end of the night. He's like, "Man, Irrational Passions. I'm so glad you had a good time." And yeah, it was great. Um, Met a whole bunch of awesome Beyond fans. Brian and Justin, who I mentioned that was in line with them. Julia, she's a sweetie. She brought me home. She offered to give me a ride back to my hotel, and that was really nice of her. She kept accusing me of stalking her the whole night, but I wasn't. I'll have you know. She just kept getting in my way. But yeah, she super nice. Thank you so much. If you're watching this, thank you for driving me home. I did not want to pay a taxi fee, so let's see. Who else? There was a guy named Butters. He was a Beyond fan. He was nice. The Mike Mitchell. The Mitchell Morgan. A lot of Mitchell in that. A lot of Mike. Uh, Mitchell Morgan's dad. Mitchell Morgan's dad's pretty cool. He probably didn't take down the 7th Street shooter, but he's still pretty cool. Let's see. A lot of people, guys. I met a lot of people. I talked to a lot of people. I'm not gonna remember all of them. I talked to Marty Silva, who's a editor at IGN. I talked to him for like 10 minutes about Dark Souls 2, which was awesome. Uh, like I tweeted at him before, like, dude, your Dark Souls 2 content was awesome. I know you are clearly a fan. I know a Dark Souls kid when I see one because I am one. He's like, thanks, man. I'm glad, and I got to talk to him in person about it. It's great. He said Dark Souls 2. Guess what? Feels like Dark Souls. All I need to hear. So. Um, let's see. Let me pull up my phone and see the pictures I took with people. Uh, Brian, Shuhei, Danny, Goldfarb. I took a picture of Colin and Greg signing this guy's naked chest. I took a video of that. Goldfarb's also shorter than I expected. B Migs. Um, Scott Lowe. Me holding a DualShock 4. That shit is awesome. Just PT dubs. Let's see if I can remember anything. Casey Lynch, formerly editor in chief of IGN, came up to me. He's like, "This guy just gives me a big old hug." He remembered me, which was awesome. He always like reps me so hard on Twitter, and I'm so appreciative. Like, he has no idea. Rational Passions would he helps a lot. I'll say. So that was great seeing Casey again. A lot of people. There are a lot of awesome people at IGN. And they know a lot of awesome people. Which it was, guys, it was so real to me. Like that moment when you step in the office and it's just like this. It was a moment where I'm like, yeah, this is real. This is what I want. I want to be one of these editors that can have these moments. But moreover, I want to be a part of this family where these people I admire so much. I want them to be colleagues. I want them to see me as on their level as well. Which like that means more to me than anything. And I'm gonna keep on keeping on. And when I was in there, it was that moment where like, fuck, if you want it, get it. Like, go for it. Start a site, start writing, start a podcast, do whatever you need to do, but work for it. Like that moment when Steve Butts said, you impressed me, man. I can tell you're confident. I can tell you want this. I can tell you know your shit. And that was a big fucking deal for me. So I want that. I want that for other people too. Like, yeah, it was like other people coming up saying like, "Oh, the Ratchet Matches guy, you're awesome. You're like a legend." And it's like just people asking me like what audio equipment I use and how to start a podcast, and it's just like, you guys just go for it, man. If you want to know, just hit me up on Twitter, hit me up on Skype, Alfighter27 everywhere. Like, just let me know. Um, it was great. It was just a surreal moment. Um, the whole night was fucking surreal. I got back at I got back at like 1:50. It's 2:30 now. That's like 5 a.m. Eastern time. So it's crazy. It was fucking crazy. I would uh I would do it again and again until I died. So if you've been watching this, thank you for watching this. If you're Brian Altano and you're watching this, still don't know why you're watching it, but thank you so much, man. You're awesome. Uh, yeah, it's been a ride. It's been a crazy ride. Still tomorrow too. So don't know what's gonna happen tomorrow. Don't know if I'll be able to see Knockin' Boots. We'll see. But yeah, fuck. I know I'm so sunburnt right now. Jesus. Thank you for watching. If you want to see more of me, irrationalpassions.com, Irrational Pod. That's the podcast, Irrational Passions Podcast. And follow me on Twitter. I'm at Alfighter27. That's ALFIGHTER 27. Exactly how it sounds. So, yeah, thanks, guys. Until next time. Peace.